Hello and welcome to the Story Pilgrim. New Forest, Forestry Fables. Now, I have driven past the New Forest so many times, and I've never stopped. It was long overdue, and now, with hindsight, I ask myself, why did I wait so long? Lyndhurst is a town, pretty much smack bang in the middle of the 219 square miles that constitutes the New Forest. There is a heritage centre there, lovely independent shops, coffee shops, pubs, hotels. It's very English countryside-ish. Now I have a little challenge of you for this episode. How about, after you have listened, you text a friend and send them the link to this episode? A friend who needs maybe a little downtime, a little reset. Go on, please. I dare you. Thank you. The New Forest. We are on our way from Brighton. I say we as Lucy is joining me this episode. Let's listen in. We are on our way to Lyndhurst, and we've hit some traffic on the M27. There's a crash, so we've just stopped at the services. I say we because Lucy is here.
Hello.
Thanks for that, Lucy. And we are heading over to the New Forest to go for a little walk. There is a heritage centre there for the New Forest, so we're going to pop in there, have a look at that, and just see what there is around there. What do you know about the New Forest?
It's got ponies.
Okay.
I went there when I was a kid with my oldest friend, who I'm still in touch with, and we went on a pony ride.
Oh.
I remember that. Other than that, I don't remember much.
Oh, I've always just driven through it. I've never really spent any time there. So we should go and discover what the New Forest is all about. Stop smiling.
Ooh. Not here to have fun.
No, but it's a lovely day so far. We've just been pootling over from Brighton. It should take, on a good day, I think it should take about an hour and 35 minutes, but so far we've been going for quite a while already, haven't we?
Yeah.
So we've got a bean, and we shall see how we get on. I am in the Heritage Centre for the New Forest, and one of the first things that it says is the New Forest is not new. The New Forest was declared a royal hunting ground by William the Conqueror around 1079, so it's been around for quite a while. We're going to go for a walk around it, but it comprises of oak, birch, Douglas fir, pine trees. One thing that I do know about it is that around about the 15th century it was recognised as a good source of timber for, Portsmouth and Southampton, for the shipbuilders down there. So laws were passed to plant more trees. And then by the 17th century, it was quite established, and the demand for the timber was quite large. Lots of oak trees were needed just to build one ship, so they would come up to the New Forest and take it all from there. And it also, what I'm interested in is what does constitute a forest as opposed to a wood. And as far as I'm aware, like, a forest isn't just about the trees, it's all about the land as well, the open spaces, the scrub land, it's farmed. They said it was a royal land, but then it has the commoners that reside on it, that are allowed to use the rights of having their animals graze on it and stuff. So should be quite interesting. It's quite a mature forest. We have literally stepped into the New Forest, and straight away we find the ponies. There's quite a lot of them in this area, just hanging out, grazing. They are ponies, they're not very big, but they're lovely. They're just hanging out. A little baby one here, little grey one. There's one just having a lie down, look.
Oh.
Under the thing.
Oh, it's so lovely.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of grazing here for them, isn't there? The ponies we encountered that day had a gentle temperament, an air of intelligence, and were rock solid. We will encounter plenty more as the day progresses. The ears who have been here before know every now and then I like to have a theme. Today is no exception. I have the feeling that I should be talking about planning, having a plan. I do feel like I have spoken about that before, which is quite ironic, isn't it? Because then if I had a plan for the podcast, I would have been writing down my themes for each one, and I would know what I've spoken about and what I haven't spoken about. So I don't know, recently about 7 months ago, I put in an application for a development grant with the Arts Council that got rejected. It didn't get it, but as part of that I had to go through a process of putting together a plan for my own personal development as an artist, as an actor, and I ended up doing Dolan because of that, going on that retreat. That was part of the plan that I was hoping I would get some funding for, but I ended up doing it myself and had an absolutely amazing time. And I'm going through that process again at the moment of putting in a second application for a DYCP, and that has forced me to think ahead for the next 8 to 12 months, and it's kind of good in a way, because it kind of sets out that track of going, okay, that's what I kind of would like to be seeing where my year is going. And especially in the industry that I'm in as an actor, it's really quite sparse at the moment with regards to trying to get work. It's extremely sparse, and it's quite worrying in a way. So just putting that plan together is a little bit, kind of helps you think that you have control, that you have some sort of say in how this is going to move forward. And I also think back to the time when I did the Camino the first time. I had an absolute definite plan there. It was completely in my control of saying, right, we are going to do the play so many times, we're going to do it here, we're going to stop here on these days, we're going to have a rest day here. It was completely. And then 2 years later I went back and did a section of the Camino on my own where I didn't want the plan. I didn't want to experience the Camino in that way. I wanted to experience the Camino just by doing it and seeing how it goes. I think I've lived most of my life, the latter part, just going with the flow and just seeing what happens next, and going with like, oh well, that was meant to happen, or it's not meant. Things are not supposed to happen because of this, like it was like you can go, well, didn't get the grant, it wasn't most supposed to happen, so I don't get too stressed out about it and upset about it. So I kind of think that's going to be the theme of the day, is like, is it good to make a plan? I think it is. I think it's also really good not to. They do say if you want to make God laugh, make a plan. It is lovely here. We're walking past all this beautiful purple heather, which is out scattered around with these thorn bushes, and you can see the trees again off to the north there. We're going to be going into those in a little bit, but it is it's very still, very quiet. You can hear that.
So do ponies, do they operate as a pack, or are they quite solitary?
They, what do you call a collection of horses or ponies? Is it a pack or is it? It's not flock, is it herd?
Herd, yeah.
Is it a herd? I don't know. What are they?
Shall I look it up?
Yeah.
Be like a stable of ponies or something.
Yeah, could be.
Collective horses. Band, harass, herd, stable.
Oh, there you go.
Names like team.
Team, yeah.
Harass are used in certain circumstances, but the most common is a herd.
Ah. I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet flowing breast, a tree that looks at God all day and lifts her leafy arms to pray, a tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair, upon whose bosom snow was lain, who intimately lives with rain. Poems are made for fools like me, but only God can make a tree. Joyce Kilmer. Alfred Joyce Kilmer. Only lived to be 31. It was time to get Lucy's thoughts on what it means to make/have a plan. I'm thinking about then having a plan or not. What do you think? Is it good? Is it good to have a plan, or is it not?
I don't tend to plan things. I think big things I've done have been quite, I don't know, spontaneous in a way. I don't know, I think it's good to maybe have an end goal, but also to be open to, if something comes along that might disrupt that, I think it's good to consider the possibility of the other option and not be sticking rigidly to the plan. So I think a certain amount of going with the flow and being open is good. When people say, oh, what's your 5-year plan, what's your 10-year plan, and I wonder if you're always planning ahead, are you able to be present and content with what you've got? If you're always working towards something else,
that's it, isn't it?
Does that take you away from just thinking, okay, I'm actually at where my previous plan was? What my end goal with that previous plan was.
There we go. Let's see, look at that. We were talking about how we don't see many birds, and there's I think that's what's that? Is that a kite or I don't know me birds.
No, I'm really bad with.
It's a kite. It's either going to be a kite or a buzzard.
I wonder if there's an app that you can point to a bird in the sky and say, what is this?
Did you hear it?
Yeah. Sort of like a quite high pitch, isn't it?
Quite high pitched screech, wasn't it? Obviously looking for a mice or something. You hear it's right above the horses. There's a herd of ponies. I should say ponies, shouldn't say. But you can hear the other one over there.
What do you think about plans?
I think they're good. I think they are. I think they help. They definitely help to. I think we need to go a little bit left. They definitely give you they give you the map, don't they? But also, I think you do need to be open and flexible Yeah, you can hear them calling to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in the forest now, and loads of oak trees to start off with. Really different sizes as well. There's a massive one there. Lots of little things scurrying away from us as we walk past. Yeah, there's lots of, you can tell the age of this forest is very varied, with young trees and old trees, and then lots of ferns below, casting that wonderful green hue. The thing that I love about a walk, well, a hike, is the spontaneity of it all. You can be having a great conversation and then nature will throw something at you out of the blue. It grabs your attention, and no matter who you're with, you will all focus on that one thing that is happening right there, right now. It's a great way to keep you present. Talking of being present, I could hear my belly rumbling. So we are stopping for lunch. We're about halfway round our circular walk in the New Forest. About 3.5 miles in. Got about 4 miles left, I think. What have you got in your sandwiches?
Tuna and sweet corn.
Then I've got Belgium style pate. I don't know what it means. And I've got salt and vinegar. McCoy's. What, Chris, have you got?
Ready salted McCoys.
Oh.
And some water.
Oh, I do like that. I forget how much I like pate. It's just the texture of it and everything, the strong flavour. What would be your like number one sandwich filler?
I like a toasty, like a cheese and onion toasty.
Is that a sandwich?
Because it's warm, it's not a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe BLT with veggie, bacon and tomato and mayonnaise.
You're a vegetarian.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have a BLT.
With veggie bacon.
That's cheating.
Yeah, I do like that. We have quite a lot of sausage sandwiches, don't we?
Vegetarian sausage sandwiches.
Vegetarian.
Again, I kind of do wonder why, if you're vegetarian, do you want something that reminds you of meat? Why does it have to be in the shape of a sausage?
That tickled me. I find it hard to make the link between
Link sausages.
link sausages.
You have links of sausages, don't you?
Oh, do you? Is that? Oh, when
And
they're all
sausage-
together.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You got sausages on their brain.
But I think I don't know, for me it's sort of seeing the animal and then eating it, knowing that it's, I don't know, I find that a bit difficult, because when I did eat meat, I mean I do eat fish, so it's, a bit hypocritical, but when I ate meat, sometimes I wouldn't really, I think it's a disassociation, like sometimes I would really sort of think about the fact of it having been alive, and other times I wouldn't think about it and it wouldn't bother me. And then it was just locked down, and because I wouldn't really have meat at home, it would just be more when I was out, and because obviously we weren't going out anywhere, I just got out of the habit of having meat. So I don't know.
No, I don't mind it because there's so many other alternatives, but then sometimes some of the best meals that we have, there aren't any alternatives. Like jacket potato. Yeah, okay, we typically have that with tuna, don't we?
But the pasta that you make doesn't have
Yeah, like the pasta and the char-grilled, I can't even say it, char-grilled peppers and Mediterranean vegetables.
Yes.
It's very nice, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so like to me, it's like some of our best meals now. It doesn't contain meat or any substitute for meat.
Mm-hmm.
It's just regular stuff. And we don't have any chocolate options today.
No. We'll
That's
have to get an
rubbish.
ice cream on the way back.
Okay, then. If we must. A local story that I've come across is associated with the village of Burley in the New Forest, and that is the Dragon of Burley. Have you heard about that? Do you know about this one?
No.
So I don't know when it comes from, but it's quite a long time ago that the dragon had its lair in the forest, deep in the forest, and would come out and wreak havoc on the villagers of Burley with its fiery breath and immense strength, it says.
Oh.
And kept doing that until one day, of course, a knight comes along. You know, the knight in shining armour.
Oh, they're always handy to have around.
Yeah, he comes along and he slays the beast, and the I don't know where all this comes from, but they were finally free from the dragon. But then apparently later on, Burley was also quite associated with witchcraft.
Oh.
Known like for the supernatural connection.
Mm-hmm.
And Sybil Leek. Have you heard of Sybil Leek?
No.
I don't know who Sybil Leek is. Hang on. Well, Sybil Leek lived in... Oh, crikey, what are we going to do here? Come across some water in a way.
Oh, no.
Is there a bridge? There has to be a bridge, doesn't there? What is there?
No.
Oh. Oh, we can get across. Can we? Why would that be here?
Yeah, this looks pretty permanent. It's not because of rain or anything. Is there no way?
Sybil Leek was an astrologer. She's an English witch and astrologer,
Oh.
occult author and self-proclaimed psychic, and was dubbed as the BBC as the Britain's most famous witch.
Oh, okay.
So she lived in Burley. So there you go. Right, we need to get over this bit of water, and it looks like that bit there.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to jump up. Yeah? Do you want me to go first, or you go first? You go first, go on.
You mean this? Go up
Yeah,
here.
you're going to have to go from about there. You're going to have to make sure, good jump. And she's up.
Sort of.
It's kind of weird. This is permanent. And there's no actual,
It's
there
not
is
like a
no,
puddle, it's...
no, that is quite deep. It's quite, oh, I need another hand.
Did you put your phone away?
Oh, it's quite,
Yeah, you need to hold on.
yeah, you take that. Maybe, because I'm left-footed, it might be easier to do it that way. 1, 2, oh, where's my right foot going to go? See, look, I'm overthinking this. 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
There we go. Well, that was different. Why is that there? That's like...
our waders.
Yeah.
Not that we have any, but...
The Dragon of Burley. I wonder how these stories started. There are plenty of theories out there regarding dragons and the origins of those stories. Discovery of old fossils, not having the technology to know what these things were, so they made up the stories, exaggerations of living reptiles, folklore, myths. It is fascinating. The New Forest was not disappointing us in any way. We were surrounded by nature at its best. Just had a little wren jump out in front of us. And I love it how with ferns, all the ferns underneath, you typically, how you see, or at least this bit has a bridge. So we're going back over that stream and this bit has a bridge.
Oh, okay.
So this bit's alright. But I love it how with ferns underneath you'll always see most of them are just sort of very still sitting there, and then there's always one leaf that is like going 10 to the dozen, as if some ghostly figure is shaking it rapidly. I've seen that a couple of times, how it's obviously just caught the wind in a way. It's a really good spruce there. Look at that.
Oh wow.
It's massive, isn't it? That's solid. That's straight up. That's a good, there's a couple of them. There's another one there. Nature has a plan, but it also kind of has an order, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And is that a difference to having a plan? Does nature have a plan, or does it just have an order?
Yeah, I don't know, because an order, an order seems a bit less controlled, more kind of go with the flow. Where the plan, I don't know, to me the plan just suggests being a bit more directional.
Yeah, I think that's, yeah, cause I think nature has that order, doesn't it? Because things change. You know, we're talking about climate change and stuff and what have you. And nature will figure it out, doesn't it?
Yeah, like what's the natural order of things, isn't it? As like the expression of.
Yeah. So maybe it's not good to have a plan then. Maybe a plan is a human thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's good to have an order. What would an order be? I mean, you know what an order is, like a military order.
Yeah.
But then that's a different thing. What would be a human order?
I don't know, because I was just thinking, like, you know, we say about having plans, but then people also like to say everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Especially if something either big, either positive or negative happens, and maybe planned or not planned. It's how we try and make sense of things, maybe to get through a difficult time. You just think everything happens for a reason, so it's kind of like a coping strategy. But an order suggests as well, I don't know, just thinking about that to me presents like an order of importance, or like a this happens, then this happens, like an order of like a stack almost of things, or a priority over something else.
Yeah, that's quite an interesting way to look at it, isn't it? If you put an order, like when you're making a plan, do an order and put it in, do an order of importance of things that you might want to either achieve or get to, or do you know what I mean? Yeah,
because the things have to happen in a specific order to make the plan come together, or do they happen in a different order with the same outcome?
Nature's order, a human order. You know, I think we're onto something. It was proving to be quite an inspiring walk. Interesting, again we're in another forest area, and it is interesting when you go into these areas where you've got all different types of trees. There's oak, beech, birch, pine, holly, and then you got all the ferns below it, and then see the occasional squirrel, but everything's kind of in harmony with each other, and it's quite nice to have that. Just talking about how within your group of friends or your family there's always somebody who's a little bit anxious, a little bit worried about something that's happening,
And you could be that one person that's a bit anxious or worried about something. But nature always kind of seems to be in harmony with itself, or with each, the ground and the earth. And if it isn't, it's a storm. It's a moment, and then after it sort of figures itself out. Do we do? Again, I'm asking a lot of questions on this one. Do we do that? I don't know. Walking across the New Forest golf course at the moment. What do you think about golf?
I know nothing about it.
What did you say we should shout to them?
Offside.
Yeah.
And I don't even understand the offside rule, so.
It keeps changing. Ready? Quick, babeskins. Getting over Southampton Road.
Yeah.
After you.
Oh, here we go.
Mind the brambles.
Yeah.
There is a delightful church here on the grounds of the New Forest. It was a very well kept graveyard, extremely well kept. It looks like every single headstone has been cleaned recently, and they're dating back to this is one for the 1930s there. Yeah, it looks lovely. So we got a 99, two 99s. I remember the day when that used to come to £1.98. Today it came to £6.
Oh dear, sign of the times.
It's nice though, isn't it? It was a good plan.
It was a good plan. Well executed.
Yeah. There we go. I don't know where we kind of ended up on that. Kind of in the middle, aren't we? I do like the natural order thing. I think I'll think about that more.
Yeah, because I think also it's one thing to have a plan for yourself, but when other people are a factor as well, there's a limit as to how much you can control that plan.
Yeah, exactly. When part of your plan comes down to other people's decisions.
Yeah, because I think there's different types of plans for different aspects of life. So if it's your career or relationships or
As our walk through the New Forest comes to a close, I find myself thinking about the stories that nature holds and the ones we bring to it. From the gentle ponies to the ancient trees and the whimsical tales of dragons, the forest whispers its history into our ears, inviting us to listen, reflect, and be present. Lucy and I have found so much more than just a day's walk here. We've found moments of peace, of spontaneity, and of connection. Whether it's a chance encounter with a curious pony or a sudden burst of poetry inspired by the rustling leaves, nature has a way of grounding us, of pulling us into the here and now. As you step away from this episode, I hope you carry a piece of the forest with you. The sense of calm, the invitation to be present, and the joy of spontaneity. If you enjoyed this journey, why not share it with a friend? Someone who could use a reminder to take a step back, breathe, and enjoy the beauty around them. Thank you for walking with us today. I hope that the New Forest has left a mark on you as it has on me. The story program was written, walked, recorded, produced and edited by me, Darren Hill. Anya Backer provided the stunning original music on Sean the Harp. For more information about the Story Pilgrim, myself and Anya, search for the Story Pilgrim on the Tinternet and all good socials. Until the next time, keep listening and buen camino.